This is Will Davis with the Monroe County Reporter. Some of the top stories in this week's paper. A 15-year-old High Falls boy is recovering at a Macon hospital after he was struck by a car on his bike on Monday. 15-year-old Michael Kimball was hit right outside of his home on Box Ankle Road. He was on his way to the mailbox to check the mail, and when he went into the street, didn't see a car, a Honda Accord, coming at him. He was struck. He hit the windshield of the car and was thrown almost 90 feet, according to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. He was rushed by a LIFEFLIGHTED helicopter to Atrium Navicent Health and is now expected to make a recovery. The driver was a Macon woman. Her name is LaTanya Hicks. She was charged with driving without a license. Find out more details in this week's Reporter. What a relief it is! That's right, the Monroe County attendants at the convenience centers will be getting porta potties just a week after this newspaper reported that some of them were upset that they did not have bathrooms on the premises. Some of them had to walk a good ways and even drive to a nearby fire station to use the bathroom. But that problem has now been solved. County commissioners have budgeted to add 4 porta potties at those convenience centers which are furthest from the fire station. Find out all the details in this week's Reporter. Well, this would be the big weekend when thousands would descend upon downtown Forsyth for the annual FORSYTHIA festival, but it is not to be because of COVID. Instead, the City Council will decide Monday whether to allow the city to close streets for the FORSYTHIA festival sometime in May. Now, the Chamber of Commerce sponsors the festival each year, and Rebecca Stone, the new CEO, says she feels very optimistic that City Council will agree on Monday to allow them to close the streets and have the festival in May. And she also is optimistic that if that happens, she'll be able to attract a large number of vendors, as the festival is accustomed to having. But she said that it all depends on the council. Now, several council members have been on Facebook posting that they still have concerns about the COVID virus and are fearful and have not changed their minds about it. But other council members have apparently committed to voting to support it. So it all comes down to Monday's vote. Find out more details in this week's Reporter.
I told you you're the best thing I ever saw.
I'm Seth Berkebile, and this is the Monroe County Reporter Incident of the Week. Woman claims that her ex-husband is sending electromagnetic waves into her. On March 3rd, a woman told a police officer that her ex-husband had been digging up potholes around her yard with a super magnet. She also said that her husband had placed surveillance video cameras in the trees around her property, which were sending electromagnetic waves into her and causing her pain. The officer walked around and looked at the damage and told the woman that he believed that it just was caused by rain and water. She then became belligerent and would not cooperate any further.
Two Mary Persons High School students have been charged with felony terroristic threats for allegedly saying by email that they wanted to shoot their teacher. The two 17-year-olds, a male and a female by the names of Alexia Lassier and Caleb Cooper, were arrested last Tuesday, March 3rd. They are accused of writing in an email that they wanted to shoot Mary Persons science teacher Natalie Sumner. Find out more details in this week's Reporter. In sports, the Mary Persons baseball team is now 10-2 after splitting a doubleheader with veterans, including a Great game by junior Eric Snow. He had the save and he had the game-winning run. Get all the details in this week's newspaper. Also, the boys' soccer team improves to 6-4. The girls are 8-1. Lots of action. The tennis and the track teams and even the golf team are previewed in this week's Monroe County Reporter. Get all the best coverage of Mary Person sports in this week's edition. Welcome everyone to On the Porch on the Outside Looking In. I am Will Davis here with Don Daniel, the founder of this here newspaper. And Don, what's in your crawl this week in Monroe County?
Well, I've come up with something. Is that the delinquent taxpayers finally were forced to ante up, and the county got $407,000, I believe, on courthouse sales. But I come up with something else. I tell you what. Those people that were delinquent in their taxes, I think they should be fined. They should pay a fee for being covered while they were not paying taxes. Does that make sense yet?
Called interest and fees?
Yeah, no, I think they ought to charge them for fire service, for sheriff's service. I think they ought to charge them for everything.
Well, they've already lost their land now, so how much more can they really do?
Hey, wait just a minute. We know some deadbeats in this county, which we will not mention on air.
But I will say, I think the tax sale, which we've got a big story on page 3 of this week's edition, Diane Gladwell wrote about the tax sale. And what's interesting to me about it, Don, is it really shows the value of property has gone up in Monroe County.
I agree with you.
I think it was there was about $200,000 was owed in taxes on those properties. But just 17 of them were auctioned off for over $400,000. So here's the question for you, Don. Who gets the money? Okay, the county only needed $200,000 to be made whole. Who gets the extra $200,000 that they raised from the auction?
The county commissioner, the county manager, so that he can spend money.
You are wrong, sir.
No,
the
I'm
answer
right.
is, and this will really chap your hide,
Okay.
the answer is those property owners. They get the excess money, the ones who own the property.
That's the law. That's the law.
So anyway, it's the first tax sale in 2 years in Monroe County, maybe the longest we've gone without one. And Lori Andrews, the tax commissioner here in Monroe County, says she'll wait another year before she does another one. So if you want a good deal, if you're shopping for some cheap land, real estate, then that's look for next March on the courthouse steps on the first Tuesday of the month.
But you're not going to own the property until a year and 1 day afterwards.
That's true.
But have you been reading the Macon paper? Have you seen all the foreclosures in the Macon paper?
Yeah, you've told me about them.
It's just
Did you find any deals?
No.
No.
I kept doing my crossword puzzle.
All right. Speaking of Macon, the Cherry Blossom Festival is the Reporter's an official sponsor of it, and of course the Forsythia Festival too. And we will find out
Monday
whether we will be allowed by our wonderful higher ups if we are allowed to have a Forsythia
use the term
Festival.
muckety muck?
That'd be a good one too. So Don, what is your prediction? What are they going to do? Is Forsyth City Council going to allow us to have a festival?
I have learned something about Forsyth and Monroe County politics. Never guess, never, because it's going to be totally opposite. Just like the county commissioners, there was all this fury about, they weren't going to allow Otis Ingram to do his property in Bolingbroke. What happened? Collapsed.
It was approved.
All
right. Well, you're going to have to go to page 5 of this week's Reporter to see Don's thoughts on the news of the week, and you'll see mine on page 4A. Thanks for joining us on the outside looking in on the porch or something like that.
Bye.
During this pandemic, the Monroe County Reporter is committed to keeping everyone safe and healthy and stopping the spread of the virus. How? Well, did you know that the Reporter is not only a great newspaper, but also can be converted into a terrific mask that blocks out viruses and germs? Scientists have discovered that newspaper ink printed on paper makes it very difficult for viruses to penetrate through the paper to reach your mouth. So when you're done reading your favorite newspaper, wrap it around your face, slap on some tape, and you're ready to live again. Yes, when you subscribe to the Reporter for just $40 per year, you not only get a great read mailed to your home each week, you also get a new set of masks with the Monroe County Reporter.